things like experience. You won't have heard of.
Do you have your own product, or is it do it for somebody else?
Sorry?
You have your own product, which you do it for somebody else?
I work for a company technical called Obscure Music and Media that is 3 programmers and a director, and then there are 3 companies internally in the same building that we sell all of our technology to.
So this is the beginning of that?
Yeah, it's in my slide 3 or 4 or something. So you can check it out and upload later. Okay, I'm going to start. Who came to see a talk about Zilla? Who came to see Florian talk? Ah, excellent. I think more people are here to see you talk than are here to talk. So you could have thought, okay, he's really hungover. So, in the same way that we share a lot of code, we decided that we'd try and experiment and share our talk as well. So hi, it's to talk about Dist. I'm not Florian Ragwitz, he's right there. If you have any actual questions, then he'll be happy to answer them in a really hungover way. But he's not so good at talking right now. Okay, so Zilla, maximum overkill CPAN distributions, and I would quite like to put down things to work. Okay, what is Zilla? Who knows what Zilla is? Hands? Okay, nobody knows that. You mostly have some idea about what Zilla is, so that's what Zilla is. It's fucking awesome. Any questions? Cool. At RGBS, I wrote this, and when I say this, I mean the slides as well. Florian to nick them, and he's awesome. Florian, who's Raffles on IRC, owns half of CPAN. And when you have half of CPAN, and I have 100 disks normally myself, and that's not nearly as many as he does. This is hard. Trying to maintain 100 distributions in a reasonable way, it's annoying and it's hard and it's a big slog because you have all this crap. You have these loads of files, and you end up deciding you want a new version of pod coverage for something, and oh, you have 100 copies of pod coverage tested. So really, okay, this is the key thing. We have this main file PL, which is going to use XQtils to make a module install or something. It's going to look like that, and it has a lot of information in, like who I am and stuff. And oh god, it's horrible. So you end up writing crap like this. So depending on what version, maybe you've got on your target system, maybe you've got to use it. Oh, not cool. Module install, okay, that's quite a lot nicer. It lets you specify things. And so you have your code. I mean, this is the stuff that's actually important, right? This is what you're writing. You want to be spending your time with CPAN on making it better. Okay, so you write all distributions and module starter, and it's amazing. It generates all of this shit for you, which you can then edit, and you can edit it 100 times over. Boilerplate.t, you have to change the 100 distributions. Oh, horrible license file that you have to then tell it. You don't change the license. You need to deal with all of this stuff that is entirely ancillary to your code. Yeah, README and pod coverage and oh, why am I writing these things or touching these things 100 times over? This is like a copy and paste problem.
So everyone writes own scripts to generate them.
Yeah, and I mean, more the problem is you don't just write the scripts to generate them. You end up writing send scripts to send over a load of Git things to fiddle with them and then doing mass commit. Oh, yeah, no, I mean, I've written one-liners to build and upload 10 disks, and that's not awesome. So actually, I just wanted this. Why did I not have a list of what I've changed and my files and my tests? And that can be all of it. Cool. Yeah. So I need to, when I'm doing a new distribution, I need to update some version numbers, I need to upload the CPAN, I mean, there's a whole load of stuff that you have to do every single time you release some software. And oh, yeah, 100 times over, not any fun at all. This is pretty bloody awesome because it takes the not fun parts away. It's huge, however. I mean, installing this Zilla, yeah, it's going to take a while. And that's direct prerequisites, that's not prerequisites. Yeah, it's big. So it doesn't make this step, it doesn't do the install. So you don't need to make use installers from the prereqs. You just need to get something that works for you on your machine. You can generate distributions, and then you have a makefile.pl that runs an XUtils makemaker and just installs stuff on any user file. So I mean, it's my problem, and I'd rather install 160 prerequisites and patch them until they actually install and stuff, and spend time writing plug coverage tests and rewriting plug coverage tests and stuff. Your users don't know you're using Zilla. I mean, that's the entire point. It builds the distribution, but on the side, when someone is downloading your code from CPAN, they don't know and care about this Zilla at all. They just see the makefile generated for that XUtils makemaker or module build. This Zilla, well, it's not, but it is actually. I mean, all the things it does is in plugins. It's entirely pluggable. And so you have this file called Dist ini, and that looks like that. And that tells it kind of what to do. And yeah, that's the config, and that's what you write. Me and the license and blah 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 blah. And how to find things, how to delete things from the stuff you found. And so you have all of these plugins that can automatically find the prerequisites, automatically bump the version, automatically generate the method JSON, etc. It kind of does all of that stuff. So here are some of the plugin names. They're fairly self-explanatory. These are things that it will automate for you. And it's entirely pluggable, so you can use more or less of these, whatever suits you. I mean, if you want to write your pod tests yourself, you can. It doesn't force anything on you, but it's going to take away all the bits that you personally find boring. So, yeah, you just say, these will build, these will test, these will install, these will release, done. How it actually works. So you have a build, and it finds files, looks on disk, finds some files that go into your distribution, and then you smash them. I mean, for example, you want at the bottom of every file a link to the license and a link to your name and stuff, and then it finds some metadata, like where your Git repository is and all that sort of stuff, and then it writes out the files. So it sucks in your Perl, smashes it, and then writes out a new set of Perl. I mean, like when you say make Dist, you rewrite everything. Generally. So how do you pick plugins? There is no default config, it will do whatever you want. So most people, to start with, you just say basic, and the and says I would like to do plugin bundle. So all the basic things we do at the moment, if you just use the basic bundle, then it's going to automate a standard CPAN distribution for you. And that is what it does by default. So it finds all the files, it gets rid of stuff, it generates a manifest, and a manifest to skip, it uses makemaker, it generates a license, a readme, a method YAML, it adds extra author-side tests, it does scripts and shaders, release testing, loads of CPAN, exactly. So yeah, it generates all of that stuff on the right-hand side, is generated for you, which is nice. And so, yeah, CRUF minimizes. So actually, you don't keep any of this stuff in your package at all. You don't have plot syntax tests, you don't have coverage tests, you don't have none of them in your distribution, they just get generated. And it is entirely pluggable, like I said. So I mean, there's a Git plugin bundle, which is wonderful because it can also detect all your Git metadata, and it will put repository information in your distribution so that when your distribution shows up on search.cpan, people can see where the code is, so they can patch it easier. And I mean, we're talking about, you know, having 100 CPAN modules, and people go, "Where's the source code?" And I'm like, look on search CPAN. It's there in the thing. Yeah, right, well, not about subversion, but yeah, it also does that. Mercurial, whatever version control system you're using, it can read the metadata and Podweaver is awesome. So as I was saying before, you've got all of this boilerplate pod, like your author name and copyright info you want on the bottom of every file. And yeah, why are you copying and pasting that between files? You just omit it entirely, and Podweaver will rewrite the pod and do awesome things. And this is the point where preview fails to work because it's on my slides. Okay, so I mean that's what a CPAN model ends up looking like. Doesn't work so well in this projector. Never mind. You have all of this stuff, copyright, version, description, etc. So actually, those are the only interesting bits. The package of my app, the version, the code. And okay, so we've got some documentation. Well, actually, yeah, let's just put a comment in that's called the abstract, and we can generate that bit. We can generate that bit, take it away. Or we can generate that bit just by having it in a Dist image, take it away. The head one methods and the head one, all these other bits of pod that you end up writing again and again. Yeah, just don't bother. And actually, it adds some pod syntax extensions. So you just say equals method this method, and if you have any methods, then it will put them all together in the right section, and it will generate you the right heading, and etc. So it actually lets you have inline pod sensibly, without having to have all this crap. And you can have your code laid out with the docs next to it without having to jump through hoops. Author, it just doesn't generate that, so you don't need that. The license, well, it's going to generate that as well. Oh, suddenly I only have my code rather than a load of crap in my files, which is great. So yeah, I mean, well, you can read this now, right? Couldn't read that before. And so that's what I'm going to write in my package, but all of the other stuff will be there when it ends up in CPAN, which is really cool. Yeah, so just the interesting bits. And I need to zoom it again. Okay, so that was Podweaver. Very short what it does. How do you use this yourself? You basically write a Dist.ini file, delete some stuff. I love deleting code. Best thing ever. And delete a bunch more stuff. And there's Dist Zuki, which will help with this. But yeah, it's about that simple. You make this Dist.ini file and then you delete things. Questions?
So what's this looking?
The SICK is a tool bigger thread which basically scans some metadata in some existing distribution and builds a Dist.ini file based on that.
So you can point to the directory of your distributions and it'll Zilla file them for you. It will delete all crap. I mean, personally, deleting crap provides massive amounts of joy, so I'm happy to do it myself. Even 100 times, it never gets old. I love deleting my code because well, I know how bad my code is. Yeah.
The Dist.ini file, does that live per project?
Yeah. The Dist.ini is basically what you have instead of a main.pl.
And you have a sort of universal Dist.ini that proposed?
You can write a plugin bundle that's yours. And so your Dist.ini ends up being 2 or 3 lines. So it's like the name, use my plugin bundle, done. I mean, he has a plugin bundle that knows about all the 4 or 5 different repositories that he has code in and auto detects it and uses his set of plugins and stuff. So you just say and Flora, and it makes the distribution look like he done it.
Also, there is a global configuration file where you can state your name, like your CPAN credentials, stuff like that, which you actually don't want to have in the Dist itself, but otherwise it is something needs to
Okay, so
question, if you have your